Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having pure fun. We are here to talk about Leandro Trossard, Morocco versus Canada in there for you, and see to it that all really goes on well as planned. But it has been some weeks when I last obviously showed here live, but I'm live. I'm back live to obviously see to it that we break this breaking story of Leandro Trossard leaving the club of Arsenal. Coming in through firstly from the Turkish sources, and now we are having it from the fly on the wall of Arsenal correspondent for The Athletic, known as Guna Blog, in there for you. So remember, we are powered by Think Landscaping, right? Think Landscaping, they are your trusted partners when it comes to transforming your outdoor spaces, designing your outdoor spaces, and doing the needful to your spaces that you'll ever want in there for you. So they do plan, they do design, they do transform in there for you, and your beautiful spaces will obviously have what we call a lasting value. They create and maintain exceptional outdoor spaces that inspire and enhance and add value to your property in there for you. So if you feel like you want your outdoor space to obviously be given that outstanding look, call them on +256 765 295529. All WhatsApp them on +256 703 004168, and they'll create spaces that add value, beauty, and life. So that is Think Landscaping for you, and you won't regret working with them because they are indeed the super duper of this particular kind of job, and they are proven, and clients are not complaining at any given time. So that is what we call Think Landscaping. They are the people behind a beautiful video, and we are working with them for this time, and then later we will see whether you guys respond effectively, right? So let's obviously head to our beautiful story. Remember, Arsenal wanted to sign Mikhailo Modric. I want to give you the synopsis of Leandro Trossard coming to Arsenal. How did Leandro Trossard come to Arsenal? Now, the team of Arsenal went ahead to obviously do the needful and wanted Mikhailo Modric. Went ahead to make a bid that was really put in a very huge envelope, put on the table. First 55, 65, 75, 85 million pounds, exactly the amount of money that they wanted. And Chelsea went ahead to obviously hijack the deal with the same amount of money, but with more added preferences. You understand? And obviously, the what are they called? There are some clauses they added that benefited Besiktas a lot. No, Shakhtar Donetsk a lot, and they lost the player. Now, when they lost the player, Arsenal decided to move on for a player known as Leandro Trossard. And obviously, in the summer of 2023, in the January transfer window of 2023. Remember, he came in through that season of 2022-2023. Arsenal went ahead to bring in Leandro Trossard. You get? And Arsenal went ahead to obviously complete this deal on the 21st of January 2023, and Arsenal went ahead to pay 27 million pounds for Leandro Trossard in there for you. And when they paid the amount of money, he came in through and really went ahead to obviously have a very wondrous season at the club of Arsenal. You remember, I think it was, did he have 11 assists in that season? Just he played those months with the club of Arsenal, but he was really a live wire in all what he went ahead to do. Now, he came in through 2023. 3 years later, the lad is leaving the club of Arsenal, lifting a Premier League, and obviously playing the Champions League final in there for you. So, who came up with this story first? I saw this guy, and if you've been, sometimes I always tell you that I cannot come here to obviously bring you all the stories, but follow me up onto the Rokani Media Football on X, and you will obviously get stories that sometimes I won't obviously come in here to broadcast. Now, On the 2nd of July, this is Etan Suguk, TV reporter from Turkey. He told us that Besiktas has agreed a preliminary agreement with Arsenal regarding a deal for Leandro Trossard. Negotiations continue with the player's camp to reduce his financial demands in there for you. Now, we're asking, what are the financial demands? We're asking that, what are the financial demands of Leandro Trossard? And they told us the following, that Leandro Trossard is said to be demanding an annual salary of 8.5 million as talks over a potential Besiktas move continue. The Turkish side have reportedly made an offer close to that figure, moving the deal closer to completion in there for you. So, if someone is demanding 8.5 million euros, we go to our calculator. It is 8.5 million euros, right? Divided by 52. That means every week, Trossard was demanding for 163,000 euros per week. That's the amount of money he went ahead and obviously called in for. So, Besiktas was like, all right, we are willing to offer you that amount of money. That is it. We are indeed willing to offer you that amount of money, and let's see what you put up. And indeed, they were close to that amount of money. And today, from The Athletic, one of the most credible media outlets in the world when it comes to sports, in there for you, have come up and obviously told us the following, that Arsenal and Besiktas have reached an agreement to sign Leandro Trossard for 20 million euros. Besiktas will pay 18 million euros up front, plus 2 million euros in add-ons on personal terms with the player yet to be sorted. So, Leandro Trossard is nearing his Arsenal exit, and Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously reach an agreement with Besiktas. Now, Arsenal went ahead to obviously bring in this player for almost 32 million euros, and they're selling him for 20 million euros. For me, that is really okay. 20 is okay with me for the club of Arsenal, because when you look at Arsenal, Leandro Trossard has been a successful signing. That is it. Ever since he came in through, Arsenal have been competing for trophies. They returned to the Champions League. He was part of that team that saw Arsenal get back to the Champions League 2023 in there for you, because they qualified in 2022-2023 season. And in 2023-2024 Champions League season, Arsenal got knocked out at the quarterfinals. 2024-2025, Arsenal got knocked out at the semi-finals. 2025-2026, Arsenal found themselves in a position of being knocked out at the finals. And Leandro Trossard went ahead to do an amazing job in what Arsenal had to do to progress. Because you remember the goal of Atletico Madrid that Bukayo Saka scores, it was this guy. I remember playing against Bayer Leverkusen. I think he scored the opener before this guy made it too. I'm talking about, was it the opener? I don't really remember. But all in all, he was very vital into the successes that Arsenal went ahead to get in there for you, putting in vital assists and putting in vital goals for the club of Arsenal. Obviously, he has reached a level of really demanding for a salary that Arsenal, I think, cannot offer him in there for you. And he's like, I need to obviously go and really make money in there for you. At the age of 31, turning 32 this year, obviously, I think Arsenal and him went ahead to obviously agree that this should be his last season, because when this season was starting, Arsenal went ahead to obviously, when I say this season, I'm talking about 2025-2026, because most of you might really get confused and you'll be like, what is Rokani talking about? We are getting into a new season. The season hasn't gone ahead to start, because what we are going into is the preseason. So we are still in the season of 2025-2026. No sooner the Community Shield gets played, then that means we commence the season of 2026-2027 in there for you. And that is what we have in here for you. So, as it stands right now, the club of Arsenal brought in Leandro Trossard, and Trossard did what he had to do. At the beginning of this season, 2025, 2026, Arsenal went ahead to obviously extend, by the way, increase his pay. And I think was earning, was it £200,000 a week? And that at a certain point, X signaled to me that, did Arsenal do this to obviously see to it that obviously keep him for one more year? You get? But my mind went ahead to tell me that maybe it's not the case. It's something different altogether. That Leandro Trossard felt like it's high time he left the club of Arsenal, because things were not maybe gonna move in there as planned, because Arsenal was planning to bring in another left forward. You understand? And maybe he felt like it's high time to leave. And there is an English saying that you need to know when to leave. And if I told him Leandro Trossard, this is the perfect time to know when to leave. Sorry, this is the perfect time for Leandro Trossard to leave. Sorry about that, because he has made Arsenal reach the triumph they had not gotten in years. So, what else does he have to offer? Apart from that, I think the best Leandro Trossard has to offer is to leave the club of Arsenal. And indeed, that's what he has gone ahead to do. And he's going to be leaving to play for a Turkish side in there for you. Now, Arsenal don't demand Leandro Trossard any penny, any performances, because Leandro Trossard, every time he steps out on the field of play, he has been Leandro Trossard in there for you. So, the big question is, who is going to be a Leandro Trossard replacement? Because I've told you that Arsenal just need to upgrade, you know, not downgrade. If you're losing Trossard, you need to bring in a player who is better than Leandro Trossard. And let's see, out of the 4 or 5 players they've been linked to, which players are upgrades and which players are really downgrades. Now, let's first talk about a man called what's his name? Let's first talk about a man called Barcola. Bradley Barcola. Arsenal, obviously, even impressed by the scouts in there for you. I came up on obviously that story that Arsenal were impressed by the scouts. Sorry, the scouts of Arsenal were impressed by Barcola's performance in there for you when he was playing at the World Cup, right? That's what I wanted to say. And indeed, it was that fun. And it really spoke volumes. His performance was really one of those to watch in the World Cup. And indeed, everyone went ahead to obviously love what Barcola did. Now, the big question is Barcola an upgrade or a downgrade? I'll tell you, Barcola is an upgrade of Leandro Trossard. An upgrade in what manners and levels? Let me school you, or let me obviously explain. 1, age. Barcola is still young. You get? Leandro Trossard, right, is 31 years of age. Let's see, how much is Barcola? How old is Barcola? Sorry. Barcola Bradley. Bradley Barcola is 23 years of age, an age difference of 8 years there for you. And at the age of 23, he has gone ahead to win 2 Champions League trophies. I'm talking about Barcola in there for you. And he is a winner. That is it, with a very huge winning mentality in him, meaning that Arsenal are getting themselves a player who is totally proven, if I might say. Secondly, I think Barcola has a skill set that is not yet complete, and he's had to become one of those players that can become a world-class player. That is it. Something that Leandro Trossard wasn't at the age of 23. You understand? Because being at the age of 23 and you're competing at PSG, that shows you how good this player is, I tell you. So, the other, he can score goals. He can score more goals than this guy, and he's an explosive forward. Leandro Trossard was not explosive, you know, but this guy is explosive, meaning that he combines the Martinelli ingredients and the Trossard ingredients, and he obviously puts them into him, And I think that makes him a better signing. If at all Arsenal bring in Bakola, that will be a superb upgrade for Leandro Trossard. Let's go to a player who goes by the names of Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers, he's young. I think he's going to be turning 24 this year. Obviously, that ticks the box of being an upgrade because in age. Scoring goals, yeah. I think he's an upgrade in scoring goals. That is it. He scores more goals, you know. And obviously, his intensity. He really works a lot. You know, he works a lot. And he, to me, if you're looking out for a perfect Leandro Trossard replacement at Arsenal, who is a pure upgrade, it has to be Morgan Rogers. Because Morgan Rogers is like Leandro Trossard. He can play as a left forward. He can play as a right forward. He can play as a number 8. He can play as a number 10. He can play as a false number 9. Leandro Trossard is that. And when we're talking about Bakola, so we're talking about Morgan Rogers, whatever Leandro Trossard gives you, this boy brings it on the table too. So for me, he is the best replacement for this guy. And for me, the superb upgrade in there for you because he'll come in through and hit the ground running. Obviously, he's the World Cup. He'll do the preseason of the club of Arsenal. And I think they'll make up very, very easily in there for you. So for me, I do believe that Morgan Rogers, amongst all players Arsenal is being linked to, he's an upgrade for this guy. I tell you, Morgan Rogers is indeed that guy that will come up and obviously be what we call a big upgrade to the side of Arsenal in there for you. So from there, we obviously head to Toliss, Christos Toliss. Exciting the eye, but I think he's still a raw diamond. And to me, Toliss is a downgrade onto Leandro Trossard, where Arsenal is right now. Toliss is a player that you can obviously see as a squad player. And I tell you, Leandro Trossard has not been a squad player. He has been a starter at the club of Arsenal. And who has he been benching? Trossard has been benching Martinelli. He has been benching Ebelechi Eze because the manager tried Ebelechi Eze as a left forward, you know, in some of his first games in there for you. But Trossard went ahead to prove Arteta wrong that please, what you're doing is wrong. I am the first choice left forward for the club of Arsenal. And that has been evident because in most of the big games that Arsenal has gone ahead to play, guess who has gone ahead to obviously be the starting player into the left forward role? It has always been Leandro Trossard. So do you still argue that he's not the ideal guy to start in that team? So you have to bring in a player who is obviously gonna go ahead and obviously start. You understand? So that's exactly what you're talking about. You have to bring in a player who is obviously gonna come up and obviously start. So for me, Toliss, no way. No way. Toliss is no way in there for you. And by the way, let me obviously go and really put out this poll and see what you guys are really going to be voting for. Who is the ideal replacement for Leandro Trossard? Who is the ideal replacement for Trossard? Obviously, let's start with Morgan Rogers. Bakola. There is Christos. Christos Toliss. Who else? There is Marcus Rashford. Okay. The poll is up, and I'm waiting to see what your thoughts are about it. Guys, go ahead and really vote. Tell me who do you think is the ideal replacement for Leandro Trossard, who is going to be leaving the club of Arsenal this summer transfer window. And Arsenal have gone ahead to agree a deal with the club known as Benfica for this deal of this guy. Now, let's go to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, 28 years of age. Obviously, he can play as a right forward, left forward, center forward. Obviously, that is it. And I think if Arsenal gets in Marcus Rashford, he's an upgrade on Leandro Trossard. 1, 2 years younger, 2, 3 years younger. you get, than Leandro Trossard. And he's a Premier League proven player. And he has gone ahead to play at big clubs only because this guy that we are talking about, Marcus Rashford, has played for Manchester United and Barcelona plus Aston Villa. You understand? But you saw even when he was at Aston Villa, the performances went ahead to put out at the World Cup. They are really top notch. And you can all agree with me that those performances were top notch in there for you. So when you're talking about Marcus Rashford, I think he can act as an upgrade at the club of Arsenal for Leandro Trossard. But out of those four I've gone ahead to discuss, for me, Morgan Rogers comes first. He is the best replacement for this guy. I don't know what your thoughts are, but continue voting. And at the end of the video, we'll come up and obviously see how you guys have gone ahead to vote. Somerville. Good player. But I don't think that to those I've gone ahead to discuss, he comes fourth fiddle. Morgan Rogers first, 2 Barcola, 3 Marcus Rashford. Somerville comes fourth in there for you. One is like Rafael Leao. Not really. Playful guy. He's not meant to play business. That is it. So that is it for Leandro Trossard. And I've gone ahead to obviously come up and let you know about this guy. Now, we do have before I obviously get into your comments, let me obviously bring you the lineups of Morocco and Canada, right? Let me obviously bring you these lineups in there for you. Morocco and Canada, right? So let's obviously bring them to you and see how these teams have gone ahead to line up. So Morocco 4-2-3-1. Bonu in goal, Hakimi right back, Mazarawi left back, Halhal right-sided centre back, Diop Issa left-sided centre back, Elnoi and Ayub Buwadi playing the double pivot. Then Brahim Diaz, right attacking midfielder. Then Kosonos, left attacking midfielder. Onahi, central attacking midfielder. Saibari is leading the line for the side of Morocco. From Morocco, let's obviously get to Canada and see how you guys have gone, how Canada's gonna hit to line up in this particular encounter. They've come with a system of 4-4-2. Kuripeyu is playing in goal. Johnston, right back. Leira, left back. Bombito, left-sided centre-back. Frogloles, left-sided centre-back. Then Buchanan, right winger. Ahmed, left winger. Then Suga and Esquituillo playing the double pivot. Then Jonathan David and Olway have gone ahead, obviously coming through and lead the line for the side of Canada. So that's how Canada is lining up for this. You can as well tell me what your predictions are in this particular encounter that is going to be starting anytime from now in here onto a beautiful channel known as Rokani Media Football. Now, let's obviously head into this and see how things will pan out in here. Your comments. Mubarak says true Trossard out, but we want to know the replacement. All right, I've discussed that. Patrick Ekring, I love that boy and I will miss him. All right. Should buy first his replacement before selling him. All right. Maybe they are closing a deal. Mubarak says RD Bruno Guimaraes will join Arsenal or Newcastle block the chance. Arsenal is still pushing to sign Bruno Guimaraes in there for you. Okoria, I personally ignore Barcola and Hunt Rogers because he's not electric, all right. Then Sereka Koglu, Arsenal can't afford Morgan Rogers, all right. We wait and see. A lot can happen in this game of football. Mwamnumui, good evening, Mr. Rokani RD. Please, no voting. Arsenal should get Morgan Rogers for us to replace Trossard. Martinelli should also leave, all right. Rogers Elimu says, already I prefer Morgan Rogers. Thanks so much for the updates, all right. Then Mubarak says, for me, it's Bradley Barcola, and Moi Moi says Morocco is winning by 2-1. All right. So that's how you people have gone ahead to come in through and obviously put in all this. And this was a quick live stream. And let me end this poll and see how you guys have gone ahead to vote. Who do you want to come in through? Fourth, Marcus Rashford with 8%. Christos Stolis, 8%, comes third. Bakola, obviously, coming second. And Morgan Rogers comes in through to win this poll. So many Arsenal fans want to have a player known as Morgan Rogers at their club. That is it. So let's wait and see how things really pan out. But I've come up shortly to obviously do a live. It has been long. Let me check. How long has it been in there for you? It's been, I last came here 2 weeks ago, you know, and you guys, I had obviously gone ahead to obviously chuck you a lot, but I've gone ahead to drop this one, and you know, you guys are really gonna watch it hugely. But the World Cup is on, you know. Later tonight, I think Brazil will come in and obviously get the job done and dusted. Not so, because they're gonna be playing against Norway. Arsenal's captain Martin Odegaard is gonna be, it's Paraguay and France. Paraguay and France are playing later on today. Then tomorrow, Brazil will take on Norway and Mexico will take on England. There for you. Then on Monday, we'll be having Portugal, Spain, USA, Belgium. Then Argentina, Egypt. Then Switzerland, Colombia. In there for you. So from there, round of 16, we head to what we call the round of 8. In there for you. So guys, you know what it is. Hey, Rokani, update me on Rogers joining Arsenal. Rogers wants to join Arsenal. Arsenal have done all the background check and everything is done. Now it's on the level of the board. But as it went on the level of the board, I brought you a story. After the sale of Elliot Anderson, the market has gone crazy. How has the market gone crazy? The market has gone crazy because now people think that their players cost more than what they even thought at first. Morgan Rogers going in for £130 million. That's a huge ask. For an Arsenal that went in through and went ahead to obviously say no to paying £10 million for £10 million for a player, known as Jeremy Monga, who is a future prospect, and ended up playing for this side known as Man City. It speaks volume that Arsenal might not even go for this deal if at all Aston Villa doesn't come to reality and obviously understand that indeed the player is being priced out of the move to Arsenal. Look at Sandro Tonali. Why did Arsenal pull out of the Sandro Tonali deal? Because of his wage call. In there for you, £275,000. Those were the demands of Sandro Tonali. And United and Arsenal, Man City, we are like, we are not obviously going to come in through and obviously signing a player like him, because you bring him for that amount of money in, then later, if he puts in a very huge performance and you want to obviously improve his contract, what do? Meaning that you are left with no option apart from really giving him what he really wants. So all I want to understand is that Morgan Rogers to Arsenal is still a hard one, but what is left is Arsenal to obviously come to a deal with Aston Villa. And Aston Villa might be obviously setting what we call a bargaining ceiling in there for you. To say to it that when Arsenal comes in through, they don't even negotiate on the 80. The 85 that was earlier told us should be a bare minimum for such a deal to happen. You understand? So that's exactly what you're really having in here onto the Rokani Media Football. So guys, it's been nice having you in here. For everyone has been here. Morocco and Canada is on. I think it's high time I said bye-bye. Let me go obviously watch this game of football. After watching this game, then I'll come in here and obviously give you my thoughts about that. But your thoughts on Leandro Trossard, set to leave Arsenal this summer, are welcome in the comment section below, and his departure is imminent after a 20 million euro deal has been agreed between Arsenal and Besiktas. Now, Okwalinga Dennis, Rokani, we've been hearing that Arsenal is going back with a second bid for Gumares. Yeah, they are still preparing it, but they want it to be concrete, and obviously see to it that they really get the player immediately for their second trial